programme has been sponsored by Cheshire Rail Tours. Details of their extensive rail tour programme can be obtained by writing to the address provided at the end of this programme. With the coming of Metrolink, many features of the old MSJ&AR were to be swept away. Well-known landmarks such as Altrincham North's LNWR signal box were to be the victims of changed track layouts. Metrolink, with its sleek units built for the GMA Group by Firema of Italy, were introduced to both Bury and Altrincham lines in 1992. Their introduction brought about many changes, the intention being to streamline much of Manchester's ageing suburban networks. However, the scenes depicted in this programme are from December 1990, showing the Altrincham line prior to the commencement of much of the conversion work. The route was worked from 1971 predominantly by these 304 units, and whilst they no longer run out to Altrincham, the Chester services through Stockport continues to bring DMUs to the town via Deansgate Junction. Our journey to Manchester, though, will be on board a 304 unit. We depart from Platform 1 at Altrincham, Platform 2 to our right only being used during peak periods. The original 1931 overhead support structures largely remain in use, and it can be clearly seen that the Chester line platforms to our right were once also electrified. Most of the redundant overhead structures were removed during the 1991 remodelling. Altrincham North signal box was taken out of use in July 1991. It had a 72-lever LNWR lever frame and also supervised a busy level crossing, latterly pedestrian only. The tall footbridge is now also only a memory, and the section onwards from here to Navigation Road now consists of parallel double-track routes for BR and Metrolink. Navigation Road box was a John Saxby cabin of the late 1870s and also signalled its last trains in July 1991, its work being taken over by Deansgate Junction box. Navigation Road Station opened in July 1931 and is now served by both Metrolink and British Rail services, each having their own platform.
Did you do that one on the Bury line?
No, we didn't do the Bury line one.
If you want to have your brain dead, it's probably not going up and down here all day.
We approach Deansgate Junction To our right, the PR standard designed signal box replaced an earlier box on the other side of the line in 1957. And to our left is an original MSJ&A crossing Keeper's Cottage. The line to Stockport diverges to our right. Passing overhead firstly is the line from Skelton Junction to Warrington, closed in 1985, and then the Partington branch serving Shell Chemicals. Until 1982, also a through route to Glazebrook and Warrington Central. A curve from the Warrington line once trailed in from our left until its closure in 1962. The Bridgewater Canal appears to our left and will remain with us until Stretford. Timperley Station dates from the opening of the line in 1849.
The old electric units what were on Bury Line, they were ain't big ones when I started. You won't remember them, will you?
The voice from the back.
I used to come and watch him as a little boy.
What? They're from Bury. No, you won't remember. You won't remember going up to Oakenbrook anyway.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't work up there with them, but I lived up there. I remember going up to Oakenbrook.
The 60 steps footbridge has now been replaced by a modern version in Metrolink's colours. Proposals over many years to build a station at this point have yet to come to fruition. Brookland Station did not open until 1859 on the initiative of Mr. Brooks, a local landowner, from whom it gets its name.
When's it starting up again? Same time as Bury Line.
1992.
Oh, well, it starts next year, Bury Line, doesn't it?
This year starts very line first, but that's when we do it.
Could be, you know.
The first stretch is very Victoria, isn't it?
It's coming on very quickly in the city centre now.
Yeah, well, to cross not so long, it's not remaining. From line, you know, railway line, not railway.
A centre stabling siding was put in south of Sale in 1931, and we now pass over its course. Sale Station's long platforms are an indication that it is the most important intermediate call on the line, and the station retains much of its turn-of-the-century character.
all seems to pick in 3 seconds.
Cold will open.
Oh, yeah.
It can be went from cold to up to Calvis.
Yeah.
So chill out stuff. It's much better for doing it fast forward. I mean, the maximum speed we reached on that was 20 miles an hour. 56.
North of Sale, the line was widened to 4 tracks in 1904, and all 4 lines were electrified in 1931. To our right was once an extensive goods yard. This footbridge has now also been replaced by one of more functional design. Dane Road Station was opened in July 1931, shortly after the inauguration of the original electrification in May of that year. We pass under the M63 and approach the bridge over the River Mersey. A signal box known as Mersey Bridge once stood to our right to divide the section between Sale and Stratford. We curve round into Stretford, another original station, although its platform buildings no longer survive. The MSJNA once had a works and a large goods yard on the land to our left. pass under Great Stone Road Bridge, and to our left is Old Trafford Cricket Ground, an important source of passenger traffic for the line. Warwick Road Station was only served on match days until 1931 and has been renamed Old Trafford by Metrolink. Passing underneath, south of Old Trafford, was the former Midland Main Line from Manchester to St Pancras, which may one day reopen as a Metrolink branch to East Didsbury via Chorlton, joining the Altrincham line from our right, immediately south of the station. Old Trafford marked the end of the MSJNA's 4-track section. Old Trafford Station is another to date from the 1849 opening and has been renamed Trafford Bar by Metrolink. The tunnel ahead of us is 142 yards long and takes the line under a major road junction.
Why are you just doing it one this way?
It's just the one way.
Just one way.
That's right.
Altrincham to Piccadilly. Eh? Altrincham to Piccadilly. Altrincham to Piccadilly, you'll find it.
We're running backwards if you want to go this way.
Oh.
We now come to the former Old Trafford Junction, where the surviving MSJNA DC substation is just visible to our left. It was here that trains from Chester diverged to the left to gain access to Manchester Central until 1969. The Cornbrook dive under for Metrolink can be seen taking shape as we approach Cornbrook Junction. We curve round to join the line from Liverpool via Warrington, and the former alignment of the route into Manchester Central can be seen to our left, now reinstated for Metrolink. Refurbishment work is well underway on the former Cheshire Line's viaducts, disused for over 20 years. Castlefield Junction is where the line from Ordsall Lane, the original MSJNA main line, joins what was known as the Altrincham branch. Deansgate Station, until 1971 known as Knott Mill and Deansgate, is our next call. The station was opened in 1849 and is now an important interchange with Metrolink's GMEX station over to our left. The South Junction Viaduct we are travelling over contains no less than 50 million bricks. We enter Oxford Road Station, in 1849 the terminus of the line, and rebuilt in its present unusual form in 1958. Our progress to Piccadilly is halted by a signal check. This section of the MSJNA was re-electrified at 25 kV between 1958 and 1960, well before the rest of the line. The two lines on this section are signalled for bidirectional working. Our journey ends in the extended platform 13 at Piccadilly Station, and our train continues on its way to Alderley Edge. The now elderly Class 304 units are scheduled to be replaced by new Class 323 trains in 1993.
Stratford, Dane Road, Sale, Docklands, Templey, Navigation Road and Altrincham.
The last night of electric train services on the Altrincham line was Christmas Eve 1991. Despite the date, there was a good turnout, and the local railway society provided a headboard to be fixed to the last service train. And another last night, this time on the Bury line. Once more, a headboard marks the end of British Rail services. A detailed report on both these events and the Metrolink story can be found in 2 further Rail Films programmes, Electric Trains to Manchester, Volumes 1 and 2. For more details on these and other programmes in the Rail Films catalogue, please write to this address. This programme has been sponsored by Cheshire Rail Tours. Details of their extensive rail tour programme can be obtained by writing to this address.